All units, Irene. I say again, Irene.
The April annual autism issue includes articles on how community involvement and volunteering provide benefits for individuals with autism, including an article in the military section. Other topics include picky eating, understanding time concepts, and improving the haircut experience for individuals with sensory processing disorder. Read Exceptional Parent magazine for free by going to www.
The final decision on the timing of D-Day will be mine, and mine alone.
Call General Eisenhower.
Tiger was a training op, dress rehearsal for D-Day. They walked right into it. One mistake. Just that one mistake.
Ike, you have to stop doing this to yourself. What's done is done. Group Captain Dr. James Stagg, here at the express request of General Eisenhower.
Do we have a date yet for the invasion zone?
D-Day is in 61 hours from now. This is the largest seaborne invasion in history. Fate of the war, thousands of lives hinge on this. I need a forecast. Churchill tells me you're the best meteorologist in the country.
Get me the latest readings from every single base within 2,000 miles of Normandy. The invasion's confirmed for Monday. Monday.
Oh, they won't like this.
We are faced with a succession of 2 aggressive storms.
Are you absolutely certain?
D-Day will be calm and sunny.
I couldn't disagree with that more.
If D-Day is cancelled, we will lose this war.
The final decision on the timing of D-Day will be mine, and mine alone.
If you invade tomorrow, they're going to be washed away.
300,000 men with families that they may never see again. Why should I trust you?
We must face the facts! The facts! However frightening they may be!
If we delay,
the enemy will be ready and waiting. They'll slaughter every single last one of us.
The storms that I'm talking about are real, and the wrath of nature is real.
Monotony. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Dull, tedious, just plain boring. But what is this? A contender, perhaps? Something unboring by the looks of it. Jabs right at dull, an uppercut to tedium, something that keeps you on your toes, keeps your head on a swivel. A knockout punch to your old, boring workouts. Welcome to Fight Camp.
Am I under arrest?
You've assaulted an innocent man in front of his wife and baby girl. Do you remember any of that?
Does the defendant have any priors?
Resisting arrest, DUI, assault.
Hey! My client has been awarded a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star Medal for his combat service.
I'm ordering you to undergo a 60-day outpatient rehabilitation program. Good luck.
Nah, I'm not doing that. Do you know what the VA's put me through?
If you have a brain in your head, you're going to listen to me right now. Because the next time you try to provoke a lethal response from law enforcement, you might not have an angel sitting on your shoulder.
The courts think that you're gonna fix me.
I hate to disappoint you, but I can't fix you. That's your job, not mine.
Did you know that your father got out?
He's a dangerous man, Calvin. Be careful.
We came back, and they spat on us at the airport. No homecoming parade, no celebrations.
You can't pretend like you have any idea what it's like to be in combat.
No, but what I do know is this field of work that I've dedicated my life to has helped a lot of people.
When you got back, something was different. It wasn't that you'd changed. You'd been replaced.
You lose your morality when you go to war. And the hard part is coming back to a civilian society that doesn't have any idea what's going on in your head.
It's hard to believe my enemy is the man I used to be.
I bet you wonder, where's my tribe? And I ain't talking about no friendship neither. I'm talking about brotherhood.
What is it that you truly want, Calvin?
I just want to wake up in the morning and feel something.
Our pain is relative, son. Sometimes we gotta fall apart to find ourselves all over again.
You were willing to give your life for your country. Now maybe you can try living for it.
What are you feeding this guy? Look at this.
What do you want? I did 4 tours.
Of the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, okay. Little spicy, little spicy.
The movie, music, news, television promos, trailers, and videos used by Oscar Mike Radio are protected by the Fair Use Act. Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1. The purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of commercial nature or is for non-profit educational purposes. 2. The nature of the copyrighted work. 3. The amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. 4. The effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work.
I joined the military to be a part of something bigger, and solving complex problems was part of the job. But when it came to my mental health, I had no clue where to start.
Thankfully, you didn't need to figure it out alone.
If the veteran in your life is having a hard time, you can be the one to offer help.
VA has resources like family education about mental health challenges, couples therapy, and parenting courses, so you can help your veteran build a brighter future.
Learn more about resources available at mentalhealth.va.gov/families.
Hello and welcome again to Oscar Mike Radio. My name is Travis, Marine Corps veteran and your host. Oscar Mike Radio is co-produced with Sinister One Productions. What's your podcast doing? I want to thank my sponsors, Joyce Asek of Asek Real Estate, Echo 6 Ranch Creations, thank you Danielle, and my supporters, Case on Shaving Company, Exceptional Parent Magazine, and Fight Camp, be your strongest combination. And I have a very interesting combination for a guest appearing with me today on Oscar Mike Radio. Not a veteran, not into t-shirts or coffee or books or life coaching, none of that. A very unique proposition for veterans and respects veterans, business owner, all kinds of stuff. I want to introduce Anna Redman from Braav on Oscar Mike Radio. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me on, Travis. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Now, she had me try something, folks. We'll get into all that, and it's very good stuff, and it's very cool, unique. Before we do all that, Anna, kind of give us a background. You didn't serve in the military, you told me, but you have a deep and abiding respect and admiration, and dare I say love for people who are serving or have served. Kind of tell us, where did that come from, please?
Yeah, gosh. So it came from really my personal experience. And I'll rewind a few steps back. So I did not come out of the military. Moreover, to build the business that I built, I took probably one of the more non-conventional paths in that I actually started out out of college, went to Harvard, got my ABAM in history of science, went into venture, pretty traditional path, straight out. Was on the investment side for a number of years, both at a venture capital fund and several hedge funds, and then decided that I had always wanted to build as opposed to work at something that someone else had built. It's that quote that you'd rather work 60 hours a week for yourself to prevent working 40 hours for someone else. I think kind of describes me to a T. I wanted it to be mine. And so I built a totally different company, different than what I'm doing now, alongside a co-founder, also a fellow Harvard alum. And we did that for about 8 years, and that was in content creation and thought leadership for Fortune 500s. And in about 2020, that business had gone through a ton of transitions. Parts of it were no longer really on the same trajectory. So we wound down a portion, transitioned another, and I was kind of looking at my next thing. And over the course of like 6 months, I just became really acutely aware of the critical importance of physical safety, both on the corporate side and on the personal side. And it felt like I was just encountering story after story of people who were struggling to understand, like, how do I keep my employees safe? Am I doing the right thing? What are the best practices? And with my business hat on, I just became very interested in the product market fit question of like, what solutions does physical security bring that work? Where are there gaps? How can we innovate? And I stepped into this space. Really, I didn't really have friends or family members that did. I really knew zero service members, zero current and former police officers. And so, as a space for me, this was like stuff I had read on the news, right? Articles describing people I hadn't met. And so, when I first had this thought of, I think this may be an area where I want to innovate, I had tremendous anxiety. And I thought, will I be left out of the room? Are people going to think, hey, stay in your lane? This is crazy. You don't know the next thing about physical security. Why would you want to start a company? And, I started to kind of tiptoe in and reach out and ask for meetings. And everyone was so kind. So overwhelmingly, tremendously kind. And I met.
So wait a minute, not like the TV shows and movies where you sit in front of a board with, you know, the men and women who are like waiting to eviscerate you, and people were kind in business. That's a thing.
Well, here's the thing. This isn't business. This was me reaching out to current and former service members, to me reaching out to other physical security folks.
It's not the norm.
Well, the thing that and sort of you asked, in part, certainly I have a deep and profound admiration for veterans just based on the fact that you guys defend our country, which I think you don't really need any more than that. Like that's a complete sentence, full stop. But the interactions that I've had have just really impressed me with the morals, the sense of service, and the kind of being drawn to higher calling than I think I've seen in other professions, honestly. And when I've shared that experience, I live in California, I live in Santa Monica. I think this background of not really knowing many service members or police officers or first responders is probably a common one. And so when I talk to people and I share how positive my experiences have been, they're really interested too, right? Because I think there's a lot of like negative news is what sells, and so it's not the headline that most people are reading.
So you reached out to me with this proposition. I mean, and you have your business set up. I'll have the link in the Oscar Mike Radio show post. And when you read it, it's very much about physical security for your corporate
or maybe a VIP or one of those type of delegate persons or organizations that need that type of it. And you're right, it's its own ecosystem of expertise, service providers, and people, customers that need to be safe. Your offering, folks, this is a first for me in Oscar Mike Radio. Your offering was around challenge coins. I gotta tell you honestly, Anna, can I be candid with you?
Please.
I groaned. I'm like, oh God, another challenge coin. And look, I love challenge coins. I'm looking at getting my own, but I'm like, I have got a wall full of challenge coins. And I'm like, what is this all about? But you're doing something different with challenge coins. You can have digital challenge coins and physical challenge coins on this Braav platform. So kind of take some time and tell us how this all came to be and what's it all about.
Yeah, so in the process of starting my physical security company, Braav, um, I met, lots of current and former service members, police officers, first responders, and in building those relationships, some of them gave me challenge coins. And I, at first, had no idea what it was. And I said, thank you. Wow. Well, what is this? Um, and then I began to research and I was like, oh, this is wild. There are 30 million people in the US, at least, that have some sort of challenge coin. There's a whole community. There's 100 years worth of history. And the thing that struck me was how fragile that history is because it's oral, right? The stuff that's important about the coin isn't the metal, it's the meaning. And the meaning is who gave it to you? What were you doing? What was that moment? What was the tactile experience? Were you, like some people have shared with me, did you just spend, 8 years of your life to become a Navy SEAL? Or were you part of a delegation that, um, you know, rescued American troops? Or did you do something extraordinary? Did you impress someone? And I talked to so many people that were telling me, that the wisps and fragments of these recollections um, are disappearing, right? Sometimes people forget, sometimes people pass away. And it struck me how meaningful it would be to take the challenge coin and to innovate and to create a digital twin for new coins issued with us, and then to create a platform to allow you to store and display your coins for coins that you've already received. And, it was sort of a thing that I think it kind of willed itself into existence because the moment I shared it, the reaction was so profoundly positive. And I had so many people offering to help and introduce me and wanting to test. And now, we're 2 months in. It's a very young product, but we're 2 months into a very limited soft launch.
So I got your URL and you gave me, I got a welcome coin. And, I was pretty proud of myself. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but I got a welcome coin and I'm checking this out. I'm like, huh. And, Anna, if I may, I've dealt with people and talked with him about, hey, my granddad, my dad, my uncle has this box of coins and I don't really have room or space for them. And I feel supremely guilty about throwing them away. What do I do with them? And I'm thinking, my first thought was, this is a way to have these memories captured for perpetuity. So was that part of the reason you did this? I mean, you kind of alluded to it already, but still, for me, the veteran, I'm like, this memory will never go away.
100%. And that was what really has driven our team to get this up and running and to tell the story. It's the last remaining World War II veterans who've told us, like, gosh, I have coins that, when I'm gone, my great grandkids will have no clue what they were. It's the stories I've heard from people who have coins commemorating events where U.S. service members lost their lives. And they're like, gosh, it would be meaningful for me to know who else has this coin because there are days when I want to remember. I want to remember that event. I want to remember those people that aren't here. Um, and then it's also the people who've shown me, their walls of coins and have
Walls.
pointed to specific coins and have said, this one is so special and I can't remember the last name of the guy that gave it to me. I wish I could, right? And this solves that.
I think for me, I've got like four of them on there, maybe five. The second
Amazing.
one I did was a coin given to me by a Marine's mother.
Wow.
Sergeant Daniel Vasilian was killed in Afghanistan from Abington, Massachusetts. Um, Highly decorated as a result of that. Purple Heart honors. And I interviewed her for another show that I do. And at the end of the show, she's like, this whole experience really touched me. I think Danny would want you to have this coin. And I was speechless. Like
That's
I realize that a mother doing this is not without, real thought.
yeah.
And it was a really surreal moment the other night. I took a picture with my phone against a white background, cropped it down, and then put it up there and got to tell the story of the coin. And it really connected me back with that memory. And in some way, somewhere, there's another memory of Sergeant Daniel Vasilian that will never be forgotten. It just really kind of brought it all home.
I love that. And, I think that's the other piece of it for us. Challenge coins are so positive, even when they're painful, they're positive, right? They think they fundamentally represent the best of our country, the best of the human impulses that we have. And kind of bringing us full circle to stuff we read on the news, like I want more of those stories to be told, right? I want, the stories to be told of the moments that were great as people, that were amazing as people, not the moments that were terrible.
But I've got like some questions though. I'm like, okay, if everything you could do, there seems to be almost like maybe a dual purpose with this offer because as I understand, you're not charging me a dime to put my coins on your platform, which would then mean that there's some kind of proof or concept you're testing or proving out with this workflow.
Yeah, so the way that we're thinking about it now, and it's early days, but we want this to always be free for veterans, active duty service members, police first responders. And the thing that we want to be free is for you to be able to upload an unlimited number of coins, to share them, to be able to enter the memories, and to be able to preserve the provenance. That's with coins that are already issued. If you are an organization, like when we have a roster of early clients that are testing this with us, if you're an organization and we're helping you issue a brand new coin that hasn't been out in the world, and we're creating a digital twin that's on the blockchain, that we do charge for, and it's not a super high fee. Right now, it's $1 a coin. So relative to the cost of minting, it's very affordable. It's not a huge addition. But what those organizations get in exchange is they get to see at a glance everyone that receives one of their coins. They get to maintain that relationship, right? Because if you're handing coins out that you've got in your pocket, it's on you to remember, oh, I gave that one to Shirley or John or Karen, whatever. But if it's on the blockchain, you have that perfect tracking of the people that you've issued coins to. If you're using the coin as a fundraiser, right, you can always go back to those individuals. So you're able to build that relationship. And in addition to that, the blockchain coins, you're able to preserve more information than just the physical coins that you're uploading. For the blockchain coins, we've actually given you a multimedia option. So if maybe you can attach it onto the show, but we've done a first coin for William Ray's, who's the director of special warfare recruiting, and his coin actually has a video of what the coin means to him, how he made it, some of the pictures of his deployment. So there's an opportunity to do a lot more with those coins, and that piece we do charge for.
So this is awesome. I'm counting down to number 500, year 10 of doing this show right now. You're going to be like 490-ish or something, Anna. You're saying I could create a commemorative countdown to 500 coin or Oscar Mike Radio 10-year coin.
Absolutely.
Have it digitized in your platform, and then as it goes out into the Eververse, if you will, it's going to leave a trail of breadcrumbs to and from the person that received it to me.
Exactly. And you can write a special message to your recipients. If someone doesn't know why you gave them the coin, you could add it. You could be like, this is because you did more push-ups than me, or this is because you were so helpful and
Or
whatever.
even guest, like guest, I could give it to guest.
You can definitely give it to guests. I would love that.
Okay, we'll pause this and come back to it after the show. But this now it changes the whole coin conversation, because typically you have to get a physical one made. You have to pay a minimum of, $800 to get a decent one, times, 100 to 200 coins. It's a substantial upfront investment. And you're right? You give a lot of these out, you don't know who they go to, and they don't know if they've ever really done anything with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also, the other thing is when you hand them out, there's no richness and depth to the narrative. So you could definitely see how if, the governor of Texas hands out a coin and there's a digital twin and the digital twin says this is for, saving someone's life. And then for whatever reason that coin gets resold, there's provenance and there's narrative and there's inherent value there, which is a little harder to prove with the physical coin.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going through this and I'm looking at this, from the blockchain perspective, and I'm like, are you telling me I essentially have my own NFT, my own non-fungible token that now can be inserted? You told me it can be inserted to the blockchain, but this becomes more than a simple coin.
100%. Yeah. So you hit the nail on the head. It's an NFT. The blockchain that we use is SUI, SUI. It's very flexible and versatile. You haven't asked this, but I think you're about to. We actually are about to launch an option to encrypt everything that you put on the blockchain
I
because
was getting ready to ask that question, Anna.
it's a public ledger, right? So
Right.
it's a little bit of a double-edged sword in that anyone can go look at it, but also anyone can go look at it. And so we were thinking, well, gosh, what if there's a coin that's an NSA coin, or that is really sensitive, or that you want to input some additional data into that's private. So we're about to launch an upgrade to our product that lets you fully encrypt. So whatever's on the blockchain is there, but it looks like gibberish to everyone unless they have the decryption key.
So the coin is a public or a private key.
Exactly. Exactly.
So this is like next level stuff, Anna. This is like, it's not science fiction, but it's almost like science fiction.
It's really cool. It's really cool, and I'm very excited about it.
But you could have offered this to policemen, firemen, first responders, anybody else. I do have to ask, why is it just goes back to your experience with veterans that made them the first partakers of this?
We do have police officers and retired police officers using it. We actually did a couple weeks ago an event for the Los Angeles Fire Department that was joined with a business group that was coming to tour and donate money, and we helped them mint a coin that had, so it was a physical coin with a digital twin. So certainly we're active in the areas where there are challenge coin communities, but I will say I have found that probably the biggest and the most enthusiastic community is within the veteran space.
Well, yeah, because now I'm like, okay, I've got, about 100 coins, 4 or 5 coins a day, because I got to take pictures and crop them, all that stuff. all right, I got like a month and a half, I'll have them all uploaded. Like this has become like it's like a Lego blocks that I'm putting together. It's just exciting. It's really cool. Um, I don't want to call them your customers because it doesn't really seem like the right kind of word. But the people that use a platform, have they communicated with you about their experience and how this has been for them?
They have. It's early days. Again, you're catching me 2 months in, so I'm really excited to continue the conversation as we grow. But they have been really enthusiastic about the possibilities, and part of what I love is when I reach out to get feedback, we always end up in challenge coin story time. And I just want to sit back and, cross my legs on the rug and listen to the stories because I've heard these amazing narratives that people say like, oh gosh, I haven't thought about this in years, but here's a coin that I deeply value. Or, there was this moment that a senator gave me a coin because he saw me at the airport and I was wearing the same uniform that he wore when he was a service member and he served in my specific unit. And now he's a congressman. Or moments when people have shared with me that, they participated in really big operations that, 20 years ago saved lives of American service members. And that's a coin that they treasure and maybe will even carry with them when they travel. So, that piece to me has been meaningful and exciting, and really beautiful, honestly. Um, but yeah, I think in terms of the function, I've had a lot of great features, suggestions from people, and I'm always looking for more. So if your listeners poke around at the platform, and want to send me advice on how to make it better, I'm all ears and I have no ego. Please give me all
Well,
of it.
well, I can tell you, I talked to Joel Hunt today. He called me up. We talked for a minute, and he was like, "Hey, I heard you're talking to Anna." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "Well, what do you think about this? This is Braav or Brave?
It's Braav.
Braav." I'm like, "You know what, Joel? It's really cool." He's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to get my coins on there too." And it's
Oh,
already
it's so
like,
lovely.
we're already making it work. I mean, this is why this is so unique to me. So I'm really enjoying the process.
What a small world. That's crazy that you and Joel have already talked about this.
Yes, yes. It
I
doesn't
love
take
it.
much, Anna, to get the word around.
I love it. Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, look, it's a beta product. It's early days. I will say for your listeners, it's currently gated, so they'll have to sign up and put themselves on a wait list. But if they write in that they heard about it on this show, I will instantly take them off the wait list and they can go explore to their heart's content, and hopefully give me all the feedback about what they like and what they hate and what we need to improve.
You could be doing anything else right now. There's the when I hear venture capitalist and hedge funds, I'm thinking of a very sanitary space, very clean space where all human beings are a number on an Excel spreadsheet, and that number is either black or red. No, seriously, that's what comes off sometimes. You watch shows like Billions and Shark Tank, and it comes off that way. What if this takes off and you really have an outcome that exceeds your expectations, Anna?
Um, my expectations are that outcome, Travis. I want all 30 million of you on the platform, and not for me, but for you. I think that this community deserves something big and bold and tech forward and something that lets you share the amazing things that you've done.
Then I have to ask, what's next? I mean, if you're still in beta, you're still coming out of beta, but you got to have a 5 or 7 year plan, Anna.
Yeah, I do. Marketplace is next for sure. It's not on there right now, but we've had a lot of people ask, like, hey, when will we have a marketplace either to resell coins, or to sell fresh ones, right? Specifically for fundraising, like, Fire Station 247 is issuing a coin and they're selling it to raise funds. So that's in the works. We're really focused on community features. So not just display your coins, but how can it be more meaningful? I think one of the next things to roll out will be You should be able to see when people join that hold coins that are the same as yours. And people have really asked about that. Like, hey, if so, so I have this fun background. By the way, this you can generate on our platform. So when you upload your coins, you could rearrange them. They can be in your Zoom background. But this coin is from a super cool entrepreneur who does private war games for training, and he does it for people who want to be security analysts, but also for CEOs and anyone that wants to understand how war games work. So, as an example, every time someone joins and they have a Baltic Storm coin, they should know who else has the coin because then they could reach out and say, "Hey, what session of Baltic Storm did you play? Were you on Team NATO or Team Russia? Who won? How did you do it? Did you read this crazy thing in the news? It was just like what happened in our war game." So I think that the community features are something that people are super excited about, and that's what they'll come for. So those are two of the things that are certainly in the works, and I'm excited to roll them out.
Let's just say you get 30 million people to put just one coin.
Yeah.
And then, I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's certain data points you capture for each coin.
Yeah.
That in itself, that data operation is going to be a very interesting way to analyze all that and determine trends and stories and things like that, right?
100%. You've hit the nail.
I can't wait to see what's next for you. Like I said, I'm like, okay, I'm doing the Marines Can Do division, and I'm like, okay, I've got like 105 coins. I'm able to do 4 or 5 a day. So if I do this, I'm gonna get it done like a month and a half. Maybe more if I get motivated. But I'm already seeing, like, again, I think the first coin I got was back in 1998, and it was First LAM, First Light Anti-Aircraft Missile Battalion. This missile on my, jacket here is the Hawk missile that, I crewed in the Marine Corps. And there's Raytheon, and the Marine Corps made a special coin for that. And this is going to be a really cool moment when I put that coin in your platform. And the thing is Hawk is not used by the Marine Corps anymore, but that memory, to your point, will never be lost. And I think that's what really kind of said, okay, I'll definitely give this a chance, because sometimes us veterans like, it's new and it's different. It must be bad, but I didn't, I didn't get that. What do you want other veterans to know about this experience and why they should come and join you?
I think we built it for them. One of the best compliments I've had is a active duty Navy SEAL who advises on this. When he saw the recent version that we launched, said, thank you for building something great for my community. It's been the delight that I've seen people react with when they
Every
watch their
generation,
coins get
every
uploaded
sacrifice.
and
Our nation's service
shared
members have
and
stood up for our
engaged.
freedom, our families, and our
It's so
future.
much
Now
better
it's our
than
turn to
the
stand
blurry
up for
photo
them. This year, you can
on
honor their
Facebook,
service in a
right?
deeply personal way by
And
sponsoring
people
a
can interact
$17
with them.
Veterans Wreath. Each wreath is more than a symbol. It's a heartfelt tribute to the heroes who served and to the families who carry their legacy. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org to sponsor a wreath today. This isn't just a wreath, it's a personal gift to an American
These 30
hero.
million of you.
Thank you for listening and watching Oscar Mike Radio,
That holds a challenge
where our active duty service members and veterans are in action, and the mission is in flight. Oscar Mike Radio is an oversized load Co-Sinister One production. If you are a veteran or know a veteran who needs help, please dial 988 and press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line.
Appreciation for.
How can people get connected with Braav and get on the platform, Anna?
Allcoin.braav, braav.co, and you'll have to put yourself on a wait list. I apologize. But if you put in the notes that you heard about us from Travis, we'll get you right off.
So I'll have that link in the Oscar Mike Radio show post. And if you mention my show in the notes, you'll get moved to the front of the line. There's benefits to being a listener and supporter. Absolutely. Um, you know, we're going to talk about the OMR coins for certain, but again, it's so unique, it's so different, it's so new, and it's definitely for all the veterans. Whether you're a veteran who just got out or you've been out for a while, those memories will not go away. And I think this is last little bit here, Anna, is I'm reading some books about World War One right now, and I wish we had gotten more of those memories.
I agree with you. I really agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Redman with Braav. I'm going to have the link to Braav and the coin platform, the Oscar Mike Radio show post. And I want to thank you coming on and sharing with us. You have an open invitation to come back on and share updates. And 30 million, I have no doubt in my mind you're going to be able to hit that number. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Travis. Such a pleasure.
I'm Travis with Oscar Mike Radio. We're Mission in Flight. We'll see you next time. Thank you again.
Every generation, every sacrifice. Our nation's service members have stood up for our freedom, our families, and our future. Now it's our turn to stand up for them. This year, you can honor their service in a deeply personal way by sponsoring a $17 Veterans Wreath. Each wreath is more than a symbol. It's a heartfelt tribute to the heroes who served and to the families who carry their legacy. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org to sponsor a wreath today. This isn't just a wreath. It's a personal gift to an American hero.
Thank you for listening and watching Oscar Mike Radio, where our active duty service members and veterans are in action and the mission is in flight. Oscar Mike Radio is an oversized load Co-Sinister One production. If you are a veteran or know a veteran who needs help, please dial 988 and press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line.